Welcome to Atrip2India podcast. For today's episode, it is about embracing the WAP. So today I didn't feel comfortable doing it by myself, but I decided to bring in some beautiful, powerful women along with me for this episode in particular. I will be introducing my panel today. I have Charity Sims. She is a freelance event production professional in the New York area in Atlanta. Her Instagram is Char, Charc Sims, Sims. And then following her, next to her is Miss Jo Hicks. She is from Omaha, Nebraska, and she has That Average Joe podcast. Check her out on Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, and more. Her Instagram is at That Average Joe. No E, just J-O. Also, another one of our panelists is Valencia Edmonds. She is the founder of Crown Queens. It is a brand for all women. Her Instagram is at Rena V. She also comes out of the Fort Lauderdale area. And then following along, we have Kiara Hardy at Creations by Kiara. She is the Atlanta hair slayer. Please follow her. And as you can see, she is from Atlanta, goddamn. We have two more to go. Miss Ebony Johnson from Chicago, Illinois. She has a podcast as well. It is called Dark Skin is Here. Please get in tune. It is also available on Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts as well. And last but not least, we do have Samoina Gachero. Yay! She is from Boston. And her brand is also Glam by Samoina. She does makeup as well. So let's all give a hand to our panelists. Woo. So I will start with our first segment, which will be into the whole phase. I want to start with you, Valencia.
Oh, hell.
Please.
Okay.
Can you please give me your description of what you believe the whole phase is?
Okay. So my description, I feel like all eyes on me. What's up, y'all? But my description of what the whole phase is a time in life where you are embracing yourself for one, for two, not giving a fuck what anybody has to say about you, and just living life. You know, no titles, no commitments. You're just doing you. That's your whole phase.
Okay.
That's your whole phase.
I agree.
Miss Charity, do you have anything to add on to that?
Valencia really touched on it. Just like doing you, not really caring, or not really being committed to one person. I feel like in this whole phase, that is really just re-exploring like what you want in a future partner, or just enjoying yourself. You know, you really get to a chance to figure out what you like, what you don't like, when it comes to personality, when it comes to physical appearance. You get wined and dined, girl. It's fun. It's fun. It's a learning experience.
This is for all of the panelists. Is there anyone that disagrees with the title of the whole phase?
I'm sorry. I can't.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like the title. I disagree with the title whole phase only because it's like society likes to put a stigma on women trying to find themselves. I can't talk to 3 niggas at a time without being labeled a hoe. Why do I have to be labeled a hoe? Why can't I just be dating? Why can't I just be trying to find that person I want to be with? Like, why do I have to be labeled as a hoe? So no, I don't agree with the title. I'm sorry, Kiara, for cutting you off.
Okay, and Kiara, what do you have to add?
I was gonna say the same thing. Like, it's pretty much a double standard when it comes to women's having a whole phase and a man just out here dating, because that's all the whole phase is a woman dating, trying to figure out where she want to go, who she want to be with, not having no commitments or titles to nothing, and just doing you. A man do the same thing. He'll be talking to 5 different women, but he's not considered a hoe. It's considered dating.
A man has a whole face ever since he's born. That's just like
Right. That's their whole life.
I think the title's messed up though. I think the title's messed up. Like it's literally like just having a good time, and men do it like from when they're like 5 years old to when they're like 80 years old. So it's
Right.
like, okay, why can't I do it? I'm 27. Why can't I date around and okay, I want to go to nice restaurants. I want to go to the movies. Like, why can't I enjoy my time being single without being told, oh, you in a whole phase? It's like at some point for some women,
but men,
I'm like, okay.
But no, I don't think it's like, because men get the title whole phases. No,
they don't really get the title whole phase. It's like
women just get the title.
They get a thumbs up. They
just get the title.
yeah.
Okay, Ebony, I saw you had something to add.
Yeah, I basically feel like, the whole face thing is used to manipulate you into not being the hoe you need to be. I don't give a fuck about it being
Oh, you need to be.
The hoe you need to be.
You do need to. You have to experience your inner hoe.
Only what you want. At the end of the day, we have to fight double standards by doing what the double standards tell us not to do. So whether it's being called a hoe phase or whether if it's being called fighting yourself, you witness me do whatever the hell I want to do, no matter what you called me. Right. So if it means I want to sleep with one man and I don't want to be considered in a relationship and I'm just dating one guy, cool. If I want to date 3 to 5 guys, cool. Like you can't, nobody is going to stop me from doing what I want to do.
But who has to know? Like
I think that too.
Like, how do people know that I'm dating 3 and 4 and 5, or the guys know like
you're disclosing that information?
Right, that's different. But I don't feel like nobody has to know. Like that's your business. You as you know.
And exactly what she's saying, like there's nothing wrong with it. Like, and everyone needs to have that phase. Any woman who says they don't need that phase, sometimes I don't believe that. You need to have that time.
You need that phase.
You have to try it before you buy it.
You have to try before you buy it. You don't go buy a car and you don't test drive.
Right. And my friend's mom told me that.
Okay.
When Joe said just one thing, when she said, "Who has to know?" Guys kiss and tell all the time.
You're right.
So if you
that's when you're missing people and they lie that they don't.
So basically, we have came to a general consensus that the whole phase equates dating, but just for females.
Yeah.
And let me just say that.
Are you even sleeping with all of them? Even
exactly. Men think that like men would just see you with another guy. It could just be hanging out, and they automatically tag you as a hoe. I'm like, bro, like, what do you?
That's why I said we shouldn't care.
Like, yeah, that's just them getting to their feelings. That's them getting to their feelings because they feel like they the only man that you want, or they the only man that you can get. So when they realize that you out here doing the same thing they doing, then they get in their feelings. So that's why they want to label us as a hoe and say it's a hoe phase. But we just doing the same. You doing the same thing he doing.
So with that being said, do we agree that hoes exist?
That hoe is what?
Like if you fucking on me every man, you a hoe.
Yeah, like
there we
what
go.
is a hoe?
That's a hoe.
I'm asking.
Now that's a hoe.
That's what she's saying. Right. Like if you're messing with a man that you know is married, has a family, or anything, you a hoe. You're a hoe.
That's the hoe.
That's the hoe. Like, when you're
that's
single,
a home wrecker.
When you're single,
that's a home wrecker. That's a hoe.
It's a hoe because you'd be surprised some girls will be messing with multiple married men because they trying to eat off multiple plates. Like that's the mess you can get into. That's a hoe.
I think the
I mean, I don't really know what a hoe is. I don't have a definition for a hoe because
it's not fair. Because imagine you was fucking since you was 15. By the time you 30, like we're approaching now,
you gonna be in a fucking lot of niggas. So that don't mean you a hoe. You just experience.
Okay.
You said
that. Okay.
You experience. You done lived a little.
Okay. Full season down there.
Did y'all say full season?
Okay, well, I also have to add to this because so basically what you're saying is the intention behind it that makes a person a hoe. So what do you feel like someone that is a nympho, like who has like this overly addiction to sex, are they considered hoes? Or
men will make you feel like you are
embracing their sexuality. I feel like men sexualize women all the time with everything. As soon as we want to take our power back and just feel good and like how we embrace our body, like no, I'm gonna do what I want, and that's on that. Like no,
treat a guy how guys treat girls, and watch how it doesn't work that way.
It does not.
It doesn't.
Yeah, because women get sexualized for things that shouldn't even be sexualized. Like there's some things like that. It's just like women are just, you wanted to wear something cute and you're overly sexualized.
Women are sexualized from children all the way to their kids, all the way up into their adulthood. Like we are sexualized.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but Black women are in a different category than the rest of women.
Oh, for sure.
Black women are always overly sexualized, even when we don't even want it. It's not even something we're thinking about. So that's a different topic. Like women in general are sexualized, but Black women have a different
curvy and be
true.
Some kids are developing more than others, and usually you don't decide how big your breasts or butt are gonna be. And as
I was a double D in 6th grade.
No, but I will say, as a teacher who teaches 3rd grade, they are developing a lot faster than they did when I was a kid. I mean, I had 3rd graders that damn near have the same bra size as me, and I'm a 27-year-old adult. I'm like, huh?
But I do notice that they do associate like your body size with wholeness too. It's weird. Yeah.
Okay, we getting deep. But
I just call that hating.
That's right there, and that come from family. Oh, she fast. She hiding the air.
Yes, it starts with family. It does start with family.
They put these stigmas on us. They put these stigmas on us.
They do.
Especially the whole. How do y'all feel about the whole topic? Like when it comes to people coming around the house, males coming to the house, and how you have to change sometimes. Like how your parents tell you that.
See, now you're getting deep. Now you're getting deep.
Like, bro,
Alone with adults, you know better to go put some pants on. Company coming over. Like, come on now, you grown. But as kids, though, your eyes shouldn't even be on them in the first place. Or no matter what they have on, whether it's some gym shorts, a chilling skirt, they just came to practice or whatever. Your eyes shouldn't be on in that kind of way anyway. And if you have to,
I think it takes it on the girl to know better, to just be, just cover yourself, because like you also don't want to incite something that I know you didn't intentionally try to incite. Because they're, you know, like even if you didn't intentionally, just like, you know, just do it just because people can get out of hand. And you don't want to, like,
people get out of hand, they don't need to be in the house. Period.
I would be on a strict policy. I don't even know why we allow them in the house. Like
like those kind of like home.
If you feel that type of way about somebody, I wouldn't even allow you to come to my house if I feel like I gotta tell my child how to behave or to act a certain way in their own house, so that I will make sure my child is comfortable and you're not doing nothing to offend them or offend me. You're not coming to my house because for one, I'm not going to go through all that.
Why do I have to go doing all that anyway?
Right. I'm not about to go through all that.
It's mine.
Now I'm gonna let you know about yourself and why you ain't coming to my house.
I agree though. I agree, because I know like when I was growing up, like my mother did not play that, but like she taught me how to dress respectfully for myself.
For yourself.
And whenever came in our house and made me feel uncomfortable, she'd be like, "You gotta go. I don't care if it's family, not family. Get out." Like my kid's house, they live here 24/7. Get here for 2 hours. You can leave.
Yeah.
Well, I do have to wrap up this whole phase conversation.
It was a good one. Wish we could have got
it. Will segue. We probably will come back.
Okay.
But it will segue into this whole let's see, talk rise of female rap. Okay. I feel like it's important because we're talking about whole phase, which makes us liberated.
Mm-hmm.
But within female rap, we have seen that a lot of their topics have been about their whole phase. That's really about a lot of them. So I just want to bring this out to Miss Joe and Miss Amoyna for you guys to answer the first question. Basically, how do you feel about the rise of the female?
I love it. I think it's awesome. Because it's a manual. Like when the City Girls they dropped the album Period, and and it's like how to pimp a nigga. You know, it's a struggle for people who don't know. And that's how you get even tossed into the whole category too sometimes. If you don't know how to hold your weight or be, you know, empowered, because like, you know, men should step up to the plate, take care, do certain things. So I should demand those things. I feel like they should be reciprocated. So, you know, when they're talking about this pussy talking, you know, like, no, you gotta like not necessarily buy me bags or all those necessary things, but you gotta take care of me. You have to, you know, like handle your business like you say you are. So it's not, you know, it's I think it's very powerful. It's showing ladies that no, you should not take the bare minimum from these dudes. You gotta know your worth. Know your worth.
I agree,
And then you look at how like far the city girls have come, and it's like and JT will tell you the dirtbag, the little losers that you should deal with, and now what she's elevated herself to. And it's like, no, we should teach our young girls like, no. You don't gotta accept the bum dude. You shouldn't be out here tricking off money on him. You know, like it shouldn't be that way. Like you should be empowered to yourself and know your worth, and he should come to the table. And it really is. I'm not even gonna lie. The city girls really did teach a lot because, like, man, it's real. I do come off like but then they also too did pave the way for a lot of other girls to make money. Like women are like, especially in Atlanta, like you guys know this, like women in Atlanta, rappers, like there's so many of them who were able to get a bag, and they're all talking the shit that they talk about. Like they all were dating scammer dudes, rapping ass dudes, or whoever, and they had to make their own way. And it's really impressive to see how like they've come and how far they're going, and what the message that they're spilling to women. If you take it the wrong way, that's your fault. But I don't think it's wrong. I think we should embrace it, and I think I'm all up for it.
I definitely think women have the right to want to express themselves, however that may look, because you can't tell anybody what they want to do. Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, the City Girls, that's what you want, then that's fine for you. I do think sometimes that it does tip the scale a little bit and becomes a little bit too explicit. I will say sometimes, like I was just talking.
She talked about the Sukihana,
like
she had.
But
then it's all of them who got on this OnlyFans. It's all of them who got on this OnlyFans that that should be its own discussion. Like who, like
I just think that sometimes it borderlines inappropriate just because of the way that I was raised. There's some things that are kept private. Something.
That helped segue to my next question was, do you feel like the rap genre, like the top female rappers that we know that's out there, do you feel like they are an accurate reflection of the female population in America?
No. Because I don't want Birkin bags.
Oh, but I mean, nothing's wrong with that because the male rap game, they're not an accurate
liars.
Of the male population. So
damn.
At the end of the day, it's entertainment. You're gonna do what sells. Male rapper, female rapper. You're doing what sells. She's right. Male rappers usually, honestly, do not depict the normal man. The normal man I'm gonna meet that's gonna date me is gonna be nothing like
the man they rap about.
Also, too,
a man rapper.
The lifestyle.
Last time we really did date a bunch of regular dudes.
What's a regular dude to you?
Like, what the fuck?
It depends your definition of regular.
Like, I mean, regular.
Yeah, I mean, just your definition of regular.
Okay, what I meant by that is like, I felt like mainstream, we still have conscious rap, trap, and then like everything else in between, or underground, or something like that. But I feel like when it comes to the mainstream female rappers, it's just straight pussy talk. That's it.
I feel like pussy talk is a good thing with the female rappers though, because male rappers have gone so far over the decades with talking about what's in between our legs, what we carrying on our backside, how big our titties is. They get to degrade us and make money off talking about our bodies. So we talk about the female body better than we can, so let us do it. That's why we're in the mainstream.
Exactly, girl. And that's why I fuck with them, because I be feeling every word.
Every word.
Can we talk about real life bitch give a fuck about a nigga is my favorite line.
I'm telling you, they should write a whole Bible. I'm telling you that.
You say a whole Bible?
A whole Bible.
Okay, so do you think that lifestyle like depicts them as being a hoe? Like, is how you just said they should write a whole Bible, and how you just describe their lifestyle. So does their lifestyle? Do you think that's being a hoe, or is that just being?
It's just, but what is like? If you can like,
a boss bitch, just a boss bitch.
Like, what is this whole like? Who cares? Because like, if you honestly like, what's the number that makes you a hoe? Like, is it after 5 niggas that you're considered a hoe? Is it 10? Like, what is this hoe? So it's just like,
I think it's just a figment.
I take zero offense to the hoe word. Period.
Like a hoe is a person.
Zero.
Away from what I was asking did we want more diversity in our Right.
Do we care for diversity? Did y'all listen to Rhapsody?
I listen to Rhapsody.
Like,
I listen
yeah,
to
people
Eve.
aren't
That
getting
album was
that
fire.
attention. Like you got Tierra Whack, you
love
got
her.
Pink, like
No Name.
You got Drizzy,
No name.
Drizzy.
those rappers out there, they're just not getting the mainstream attention
Tokyo Jets.
or marketing that they deserve right now. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
it's out there.
But I'm
Excel
saying
first.
because that they don't get
That
amount
is
of
true,
money,
Ebony.
is it intentional that they are underground, or do we just really don't want to listen to them like that?
It just don't bop as hard as Pussy Talk.
It's just so weird. Like you just,
it just
I
don't
mean,
pop
because
off.
in the club. Like you can't play Rhapsody in the club. Like
right,
you
it's,
know, like you know what I'm saying? Like you
right.
can, you can't play some of
But
them.
I
Like,
definitely
they just
think
don't
we
bop.
get influenced because we before COVID we go to clubs, we go to bars. What do you normally hear? Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Mulatto.
Maybe
You
we
hear
should
most of
maybe
those
we
women,
should even change the idea of turning up. Like I even thought like why couldn't you even have a R&B club like where it's like a grown folks like you know a
Grown
grown
and
sexy
sexy
kind of vibe and like
But in R&B, they still be talking about fucking and sucking and licking too. So
they were but in a more romantic
Tell
vibe.
me.
You know, it wasn't
More romantic.
and they
You know
still
what I'm
fucking and sucking.
like it
Never
just
busted through the they go Zoom, but they still
Said it best though.
Right.
Ebony said it best.
they
Pussy
just
sales.
Cause WAP, like you hear the song WAP, wet ass pussy, like you just that don't flow.
a lot of female artists make club bangers though. Like the rap artists, like once they shit hit and it bang in the club, it slaps. So I mean, Drizzy had a nice little go
Yeah.
for a minute.
If you guys want to hear one of my favorite Chicago artists is Kayla.
Kayla?
Oh, I remember Kayla. She was
Thank you. See,
Okay.
now that is real music. That was real. She's by far one of my favorite artists ever. She dropped 3 classic mixtapes, and she gave you both. Like she gave you the like.
Did she rap or did she sing?
I think it's a little both. It's have you heard of the coldest winter ever?
Thank you. Come on, see, Charity, I love you so much.
That's just
Charity.
the soldier.
Yeah, the book.
I never.
Right.
No, but she did an album called The Coldest Winter Ever. Like I'm gonna send y'all a link after.
really
If
good.
I could really get
Y'all
onto
just
some
put me
real
on because I'm in Chicago. I ain't never heard of this girl.
I went to meet her and everything. That she's really one of my like favorite people. Like she got 3. I'm gonna send y'all some songs by her. She did the cover of Pussy Money Weed. Y'all know the song with Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
She did her version 3 like as 3 different people.
Kayla.
She did the one as like a college girl. She did one as like a stripper. Like
It's
you know like
that's it.
It's Kayla's like K apostrophe.
apostrophe LA.
Oh, okay. I'll write it down.
Okay, I don't got no.
No, I'm telling. When you talk about like the female artist that could possibly like really do both, like she could do Rhapsody and she could give you Megan. Like she. I'm telling you, like you know, but you have to dig deep and to know these artists and know people and things like No Name. I like No Name, but I heard her off a Chance album, and then
That's how I found her too.
That's how I found her, and I like I love No Name, but I'm a music junkie.
I think I found her.
You found her?
Yeah, I got it.
You just smoke instead of arguing all
Got
the
her.
time. I know you got a lot.
That's
That's the song right there.
Guys are independent, so they don't have that money to like get the back into like get that radio play, get that.
right.
But also, too, Kayla was
To
before her
market themselves, basically.
Yeah, true that.
Kayla was before her time. Like Kayla came out in like 2012, 2013.
Oh, okay.
So this was like before female like rap like really like took off to be what it like I even say like if she could put her albums out now like you could really target a lot of ladies.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe she'll see this podcast and get back in the studio. Okay,
We're back in the
My
stew.
dang on nerves.
back in the studio. So that is the end of that segment. I am going to segue into what we were kind of talking about. I feel like within female rap is really encouraging and inspiring for women to just like find themselves and boss up. So that's why my next category is about you finding yourself and elevating. I am going to give this to Kiara and Ebony. I'm gonna ask Ebony first for what her version is. What do you feel is the most important step into finding the best version of yourself? Like, what do you think is the first important main step into getting into yourself?
I think it's just knowing how to, I think everybody needs space to do that. Like, I think you need to like cut yourself off from not the world, but from any distractions, whether it be people who you used to hang out with, kick it with, whether it's a toxic relationship with either friends or a guy or something like that. I think you just need to really find that space. You cannot find yourself fully until you spend a lot of time with yourself. To me, I found myself alone, single, no friends, not doing too much kicking it with my family, not doing too much dating. I had to really sit back and focus on Ebony. And that's how I started getting into, oh yeah, this is what I like. I'm a whole different person now.
And what do you feel like is the most important step here?
Space. The first step is space.
Oh no, for Kiara. I want to know.
Oh.
So,
okay,
to me, for the first step to finding yourself is accepting who you are. And what I mean by accepting who you are, it's just being fully aware of yourself, like what you like about yourself, what you dislike about yourself, where you want to be in life, where you are currently. So that way you can start trying to map out a roadmap to your life of the things you want to eliminate, the people you want to eliminate, the things you want to embrace or add to yourself. Just like Ebony said, just sitting there and really just being alone with yourself, being selfish, because that's the main thing. You have to be selfish in order to find yourself. You can't think about what others may have to say, how others may feel, because if you start doing that, then that's limiting yourself, and you'll never find yourself because you're going to always be looking at what this person say or how they feel, and that's going to change you. So definitely being alone and being selfish and just being committed to what you truly want.
So I'm going to open this question up for all the panelists. I feel like we all have been starting in our journey of finding ourselves anyway. Can you want to attest to any of like the side effects of doing so, any downfalls, or even any positive things that have happened since that? Okay, Charity.
The being uncomfortable, I think that's the hardest part. Like Akira said, like once you solidify exactly what you like, what you don't like, it's kind of reprogramming yourself, and that can get uncomfortable because sometimes you can like fall back into old patterns that you're not necessarily fond of. And for me, I recently started seeing a therapist, so having like that open dialogue and not feeling judged and having like a licensed professional talk me through stuff and be like, damn girl, okay, I see what I'm holding me accountable. That was like, I was talking to one of my coworkers and I told her, I was like, yeah, like my therapist is holding me accountable. And I was just thinking that she was just going to say, okay, like agree with me the whole time. That's not the case. So I think that's another good step. Finding, it doesn't have to be a therapist, because I know sometimes that can get pricey. Maybe it's like a podcast or it's like an app called like Headspace or something. But I think that would be a good step too.
Anybody else want to add to any of their personal? Okay, Ebony. And then Samoyna after Ebony.
Okay, I just wanted to say, like, one of the most uncomfortable things that I dealt with is that when you get into finding yourself, over time, you start to appear to be different to other people that have known you for a while. Mm-hmm. So people would call that out, like, what? That's not even you, or that's offensive as hell. Like, do you not know how hard I worked to get here? Like, yes, it is me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that part right there kind of gets me. I'm not even gonna lie, because it's like when you know that you're not doing the same things you used to do, or not having the same thinking pattern as you used to have, and you get around some people that you were around before way back, and they pointed out like, no, you never, what's all this about? Like, bitch, on this part of my growth. That's where I be at with, but that's the only thing. Like, it do make you think like, okay, yeah, I've elevated, but people would discredit that and make it seem like you just some this lame ass bitch now. Like, no, I'm grown now. I'm a mother.
And Miss
I think finding yourself gives you the realization that there's some people in your life that shouldn't be in your life. And I think that was probably the scariest for me. Like, I got single 3 years ago, and for 3 years I was by myself. I withdrew from friends, family. I met Gina probably around the time I started to come back out of my shell, and I found how much I loved myself and how the people in my life were draining the hell out of me. Friends, family, even like my brother, my parents. I was like, oh, like you guys are just so draining. And so like so I had to learn to put people on a shelf. I love you, but you need to go over here for me. So I think that also breeds conflict. So people who love me were like you said, like Ebony said, they're like, well, why are you acting like that? Why are you acting bougie? I'm like, I'm not acting bougie. I'm just realizing that you're actually not my friend. You don't care about my well-being. And when I wake up in the morning, go to bed, I realize I'm by myself. Right. It does bring a problem when you do get into a relationship, because I've been alone for so long. I got with my boyfriend and I didn't know how to be with somebody. I had to like relearn that. I was like he wants to spend all this time together, and I'm like, I want to stay home. I don't want to go out. He's like, what? You have to try to spend time with me. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's part of the relationship. I forgot that part. Myself for so long. So it does, it's a benefit, but then when it comes time to being out again, it's like you have so many hurdles to keep that person that you found.
And for me, a lot of like, shaking off bad habits and, people around you, and just changing, just growing and knowing like, the party will be there when it needs to be there. And, like taking time to sit at home and focus, like, Fridays and Saturdays at home, they're not so bad. Like you get a lot of productive time, things done during those times at home, and, you save a lot of money. And you kind of put yourself, and you really start to figure out things like, this time that I've, like with quarantine and just like spending time at home or at work, or just like being focused on that, like I've really like put myself in, much greater position. Like I even say like, man, from like January, or the person I was at the beginning of this year and to the person that I'm ending this year, it's literally night and day. And I'm like, I'm going forward, and it's just like, no, like I'm holding myself accountable for things, and I'm like trying to be on my growth path, and be really about my business, and that, because that's just like the most important thing is just like really being about your business, and be about the things that you say you're about. And holding my, I'm just holding myself accountable. I'm not worried about like anybody else, and not necessarily focused on anybody else's path too, because like Instagram can get you tripped out, and that like people are doing this, or it's like that, or it should be like this, and you kind of get psyched in your own head. But like I'm just like really focused on like really building the Joe brand and what Joe wants to do, and and I'm really looking forward to seeing myself a year from now, and 2 years from now, and 3 years from now, just because like I know like I'm really getting focused and like really getting on my game, and it's just really about me. Like I'm really not about dudes, just because like I don't they be weird, and I've just learned like it is a lot of like me. I don't even blame them. I blame a lot of me. I'm like, I'm really a weird person, so like let me just be alone. So I'm just gonna spend some time by myself, figuring out me, getting my business right. Cause like once that's settled, I feel like everything else will just figure itself out. Like, I tried chasing dudes, or tried chasing all that, it didn't work. So I'm just focused on me, focused on my business, and yeah, that's it.
Okay. But for me, it was mainly changing my surroundings and being selfish with me. Last year was a year of a down spiral. Like the shit took a toll on me heavy. And changing my surroundings and getting out of that environment made me see me for myself, being selfish, thinking of me first, because leaving was hard. Leaving was the hardest thing to do. But when I decided to do something that I wanted to do, that I needed to do for myself, I became better. No longer depressed, no longer crying for no reason, no longer putting other people before I put myself first. So now I'm selfish with my time and selfish with me. You know what I'm saying?
Have you had any side effects of that? Have anybody called you out on it? Like Ebony has said, like, are there any people that are trying to use it against you? Because I feel like there are some people that
I wouldn't say use it against me per se. They're trying to get me to come back, but I'm not going back.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's some people that can see the growth in others.
They want to pull you back.
They want to pull you back into it, and I just can't. I know, like we had the conversation a few weeks ago about me actually coming back or whatever. but I explained to you, you know, it's different now, so I can't. But you understood that, you know what I'm saying? You as a friend have always been in my corner. It's the other people who want me to be in the same situation that I was in, you know.
I feel you. Kiara, did you want to add? Because your life has changed as well.
I mean, right now, I feel like I'm finding myself in a different light now that I'm a mother. Like, it's weird. I won't say I found myself. I'm still trying to find myself, like refine myself, because I got into the stage of just being a mom and not really doing nothing else, being a mom and just working. And that is very depressing. Like, not depressing being a mom, just depressing to have the same routine over and over and just feel like, nothing has changed in your life over the course of, 2 years. It's the same thing. So I'm still trying to refine myself. So what I've been doing is I've been praying more and just trying to be more to myself, asking God for less stress, more peace, because I feel like that's the only way I can be calm and just sit still to actually think about what the things I want and actually start stepping out on faith and doing things instead of procrastinating or making excuses as to, oh, I'm gonna do this then, I'm gonna wait to this day, just doing it. Like, get my hair business started. I had an Instagram page for like since the beginning of this year, and I never posted anything on it, never did anything. I created it, it was just sitting there, but now I'm starting to, use it more, use it for my clientele, build my business, and just having people around me who, like, believe in me, patient with me, investing in me, and, loving me for who I am, because I know I can be crazy. We all can get, when you feel like your back up against the wall, you just spaz out. But it's good to have people in your corner who's patient with you and, understanding and know that you are growing as well. Like, you're not the same person you were 10 years ago or when you graduated high school. I'm a grown woman now. So, I'm still trying to figure out how to be a grown woman. So,
well, I feel like
I relate to you the most, Kiara. I just want to let you know that. And you just had your first baby. He's what, 2 now?
Yeah.
He just made 2, and I have 2 children, one turning 3 and about to turn 5. And you do lose yourself in being a mom. That every day by default, because you're a mom, this is what you have to do, this is what you have to do, and you realize you have not found any balance for you, time for you. So we on the same page, honey.
Can I say something before you cut off, Indy? I was about to say the year 2020 has been about self-love, finding things that you're passionate about, just to, have time for yourself. Like, I've realized I have many talents that I sleep on, but it brings me peace, So finding something that you really like, that you're passionate about. Painting, it could be painting, it could be dancing, it could be doing hair, it could be anything. But put your self-love into your passion.
Well, this podcast is one of them. Y'all know I've been talking about doing YouTube for years.
You and me both, India. You know how I feel you on that.
I'm getting on. I agree with you. Finding something that you love. Like, I think I found a lot of peace and solace in makeup. Gina has been with me at the beginning of my journey, and I'm a lot different than I was a year ago. And just finding that love, and the family that I come from, they're not so into beauty and makeup. They're like, oh, you should just go get a 9 to 5. I'm like, but you don't understand how much peace this gives me.
Right.
A horrible day at work, and I know I have a client, and I know later on I can create something that's just my own creation.
Yeah,
exactly.
Touching on, I think what the most key important thing, if I was to say what my first step would be after the acceptance and after solitude, it would be building my tribe, finding other people who might not necessarily want to be a podcaster just like me, but they want to be better. Just building your tribe of having a support system, I think that's what goes a long way.
It does.
Definitely. Because we can't do nothing alone.
I know, as much as we want to.
Like a village.
Well, I think that was a good ending, you guys. I just want everybody to give y'all self a good clap.
It was really fun.
It was very fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Y'all would I just want to say thank you to all my panelists. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. Thank you for having us.
Yes.
A Trip to India podcast.
India.
That's so much fun.
India.